Good evening. Welcome back to Hellhound's Late Night Spook Show here on the Horror and Metal channel. I'm Hellhound, and just a quick announcement. There's going to be yet another live stream of the Morbid Hour. I believe this is going to be the 13th episode, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's episode number 13, or somewhere around there. Basically it's going to be here on my channel, the Horror and Metal channel, on Thursday, July 28th at 6 p.m. So a week from today, actually, next Thursday. Join myself, Sean Erschen from the Horror Corner, and HorrorFan88, and we're going to be discussing the Re-Animator trilogy. Re-Animator, Bride of Re-Animator, Beyond Re-Animator, and maybe talk about why there needs to be a fourth film. They need to make a House of Re-Animator already, zombies in the White House, in Washington, D.C., political, patriotic zombies, it needs to happen. House of Re-Animator, I might talk about that. Then we're going to talk about other horror films that starred Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton, other than the first Re-Animator. They're both in the original 1985 Re-Animator, but they also were in a few other movies together, such as From Beyond, Trancers 2, and Castle Freak. So we'll talk about other movies that had Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton. Jeffrey Combs is one of my favorite actors. He's one of my all-time favorite heroes, one of my all-time idols, one of my favorite horror heroes, and Barbara Crampton is one of my favorite scream queens, for sure. And so, we're going to talk about other movies they were both in. Then we're going to talk about movies that had Jeffrey Combs without Barbara Crampton, such as The Pit and the Pendulum, Dr. Mordred, The Frighteners. That's a favorite of mine. And I Still Know You Did Last Summer. Yeah, Jeffrey Combs is probably the best part of this stupid movie. We're going to talk about other movies of Jeffrey Combs. And then we're going to talk about other movies that had Barbara Crampton without Jeffrey Combs, like Chopping Mall. The First Puppet Master, briefly. She was only in that briefly. It's like a cameo almost, and Lords of Salem. But we'll talk about some other Barbara Crampton movies and Jeffrey Combs movies that I don't own. And so in addition to talking about the Re-Animator franchise and Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton, we're also going to be talking about heavy metal band Queensrÿche. One of my favorite bands. I'm not too familiar with some of their later stuff. I did see them in concert earlier this year, and they put on a phenomenal show. They opened up for Judas Priest, and who was also equally amazing. And it was one of the best concerts I ever saw. Unfortunately, Jeff Tate, who's one of my favorite vocalists, isn't with them anymore. But Todd LaTour, his replacement, is great. He sounds just like Jeff Tate did in his prime, and he could hit those high notes pretty much just as well as Jeff Tate did. But anyway, we're just going to talk about their first 6 albums or so, because like I said, I'm not familiar with too many of their later releases. I know a few songs here and there, but I wouldn't really be able to do a full album review justice. So we're just going to talk about their first half of their discography, kind of like we did with Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath. We just talked about a portion of their albums. Here we got the Queensrÿche EP. I don't have The Warning, their first album. I used to have it on cassette tape, actually. Not anymore. I don't know what happened to it. I must have left it in my old car, which had a cassette player, and then I sold that car, and I might have left the tape in there. I think I also did the same with my cassette tape of Arise by Sepultura. Actually, I still have that somewhere. But anyway, I don't have The Warning anymore. But I do have, this Queensrÿche EP, Rage for Order, Operation Mindcrime, and of course Empire. And then we might talk about, 2 or 3 other albums after those, and I do need to get The Warning. I might try to order it, and hopefully it'll come here before Thursday. But I have listened to it a lot. Like I said, I used to have the cassette, and I've heard it playing on YouTube and Spotify and stuff. And I had it on my iTunes back before my computer crashed. It's going to be a good time. So, like I said, join myself, Sean Erschen, and HorrorFan88 next Thursday, a week from today, July 28th at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to talk about Re-Animator, Jeffrey Combs, Barbara Crampton, and Queensrÿche. So, looking forward to it. See you then. I'm Hellhound. Thank you for watching the Horror and Metal channel. Until next time, later.